All right, so I just landed a really awesome interview. It's with a company that I would absolutely love to work for. The way they describe working at the company on their careers page is something that I'm a huge fan of, and they really match my skill sets in a lot of ways. They do a lot of stuff with Azure. In fact, they're entirely focused on Azure. They're the #1 rated Microsoft partner. I'm basically going to take the very few weaknesses that I see in my application and eliminate them by building an app. And I might have to do a overnight programming situation, but I'm gonna get it done. It is 3:20 p.m. I've got the interview at 9:00 a.m. tomorrow morning, and I've already got an idea for how I'm gonna make this work. I'm gonna become a fake client. I'm going to address the client's problem with an Azure solution. Now let me introduce you to the client. Hey, I'm the client. I work for a marketing agency that uses a lot of social media. Oh, hey, Mr. Client, I'm your friendly, helpful developer. And what kind of a data problem are you facing? Well, Mr. Developer, you see, the thing is we upload hundreds and hundreds of TikToks for our clients every single month. And we want to figure out what is the best way to make these TikToks go viral. So that means taking data like the hashtags, the video length, the title, the time of upload, stuff like that, and really generating big reports to show what works and what doesn't. But all of our clients use different social media channels, and so consolidating all that data is not really feasible unless we have another application to do it for us. Okay, so you want, if I'm understanding you correctly, you want an application that takes data from a bunch of different channels that you upload TikTok videos to, and you want to be able to generate insights from that data, right? And you want it in the cloud because it's becoming more and more important to have a standardized way of collecting and reporting data. And we've already got a few applications that you run on Azure anyway, so having stuff in the cloud is just going to future-proof us. All right, and just a few technical questions for you. Do you expect this application to be uploading videos to TikTok for you, scheduling those uploads, or is this purely grabbing information about pre-uploaded videos for you? And do you want all this data to be separated by the client's channels that you're uploading to, or do you just want it in one big medley? Yeah, we already do the uploading. I basically want to just be able to give the application a link and have it take all the data about the video that I'm interested in and put it in a database in the cloud so that we can learn from that. And I think it'd be nice to be able to separate it by client, but also be able to combine everything and get insights on all the videos we've ever uploaded. Okie doke, I think I understand your problem pretty well. I'm gonna get back to you with a quick design of the system that I think we're gonna create for you, a little MVP, and we'll see what you think about it. All right, I'm on the way to start actually designing this app. 15 hours or so, I think, to get this done before my interview. And I basically just texted everybody that I'm gonna be working all the rest of the day. So plenty of free time to do it. I'm heading to the perfect place to work on this. Down the super loud, creepy hallway and this door. It's an abandoned office. I'm gonna hole up in here for the next maybe up to 15 hours and get this project done. Now back to the outline. Here's the requirements for this job, and I pretty much match most of these. There's a few technologies that I'm not incredibly familiar with, so I'm gonna build the application out of those. And then I'm also going to be matching what the client needs to happen. So first step is to identify what technologies are going to be used where and what the overall scope and look of this project is going to be. Due to the amount of time that I've got, that's pretty simple, the little outline I came up with, but I'm planning. There will be a local application written in Python, and what you do is you drop a URL and a channel identifier into that application, and it goes and scrapes the web for that TikTok videos data. That's going to look like stuff like hashtags, video length, things like that, view count, likes, and then it's going to take that data and put it in the cloud database. And we're going to have ability to generate some little data reports and stuff from that. It's not going to be anything too ridiculously complicated because I've only got a certain amount of time and there's only one developer on this, but that's the plan right now. Do you like the outline I made for you? Yeah, looks great. Let's get started. Did a little research, and the TikTok API would actually take me a few days to get access to, so I'm just going to be scraping the data raw from the internet. It would be a little more efficient to use the API, and for upkeep purposes it would be more smart, but this is what I'm going to have available today. This is the minimum viable product that I'm presenting the customer, so here we go. It is 4:56 p.m. I've been working on scraping data from TikTok. Let's see it run. Boom, we got 234 views on the video. That's my test one. I'm gonna run it on another video real quick and check it out. And then I'm gonna see if I can get a few more variables. Then I'm gonna start working on putting all that data into an API upload to some sort of cloud database. All right, it's 5:30 p.m. and I've added functionality that lets me tell if a video was posted before or after noon Pacific Standard Time. Now I'm taking 3 videos and I'm making test cases to see if the software is able to handle every single video. I would automate this, but I'm kind of running low on time, so I'm just doing a manual test of everything before I move on to the next portion, which is the cloud-based application. All right, it's almost 7 p.m. I'm currently generating my web app and database in Azure. All right, it's 9 p.m. I've gotten a bit of a website going. It's not amazing, but I'm in the process of publishing it to the cloud now, so we're like kind of getting close. All right, we have the boilerplate running on Azure, and now to add some more functionality to it. All right, it's almost 11 o'clock. I'm currently going through my Python file to figure out what exactly the fields are that I can be tossing into the database, because I'm working on the database now. Looks like we've got views, comments, and posted before noon. Okay. And then I'm gonna make the video ID and the client ID in the database. That database is gonna connect to my static website, and the static website's gonna load a little bit of some basic information about what's in the database. Here is the database I've got now. It's just a SQL database, nothing too complicated. We've got the video ID, client ID, so they can differentiate between different clients that they're working for. And we've got these view count, comment count, and before noon. All right, it is midnight 30 and I just solved an atrocious error that I had been working on for the past like 2 hours. Just a stupid little syntax error. My database name has hyphens in it, and I needed to have SQL handle that because it wasn't able to. I thought I had some sort of issue with the way that my Python was flinging the SQL to the database, but it's actually an issue with the SQL that I was sending. So I'm on track. I can talk to the database. Now it's time to get a little testing done with that communication with the database, and then we'll teach the database how to talk to the static web app. All right, it's 1 a.m. and I've got a lot of systems broken out, modularized, if that's a word, and working. So I've got a system that creates an ID for each video. The ID becomes the primary key of the video information that gets sent to the database. So every row is gonna have its video ID. And that is persistent, so even if you shut your computer down, it gets saved in a file, so it knows to pick up where you left off. What it's gonna look like is you paste in video link and it generates all this data about it, sends it to the database, and I can do all that now. And that is all working. Now what I need to do is make the web app show a summary of that data, and I've got 8 hours to do it. Plenty of time. All right, I've got the GUI working and it's talking to the database. Everything is ironed out except for one small bug on the front end, at least on the local application side. Let me show you. All right, so in main.py, we've got all these different modules I wrote that basically handle a bunch of different tasks. I broke them apart. But if we run this thing, it's gonna ask me for an input video. I'm gonna paste this TikTok right here. It's just a random one from the front page. And let's say I'm the tackle shop. That's the client that I'm checking on their video stats for. And then we submit it, and it sends it to the Azure database. It tells me over here. So you can actually see I was using this video multiple times as a test, and look, it starts at 2,601 views, and we're all the way up to 2 more views than when I started a couple minutes ago when I was testing this. The only thing I need to work on right now is the fact that client IDs don't seem to correlate to the dropdown. Pretty easy fix. Okay, I fixed the bug, so if I run this and I give it a TikTok video link, Then I select client number 3 using zero-based indexing, of course. Then you can see it updates on our database with client number 3. All right, so updating or committing from my Visual Studio Code project has now pushed to my first static web app, which is in GitHub, and that should deploy to Azure automatically. So let's go check that out. And it looks like it did deploy automatically pretty quickly too. So now all I gotta do is turn this into data that talks to my database. It is now 3 a.m. and I just solved another really irritating bug. But check this out. In the terminal of my web browser, I am now able to see database data that was uploaded from a TikTok file to an Azure database. The data was scraped from TikTok. So we go TikTok data, Python, scripts, to Azure database, to Azure static web page, and it's all connected. The only thing I have to do is make it slightly prettier, and I'm literally done. All right, here's the total amount of Azure resources I ended up using. I'm just hanging out in the free tier right now. I've got my static web app, which is talking to my database, which of course is using the SQL server. And here's what that all looks like. Alrighty, here's the finished product, or the finished version 1 of the product, completely working. So in this website, which is hosted on Azure, I can see what's in my database. All right, so I've got the video ID, client ID, view count, comment count, and if it was before noon or not when the video was posted. So what I'm gonna do right now is post a video. It's 6 a.m. I'm gonna post a video before noon, and I'm going to show the link, and I'm gonna show how it goes into the Python application and the whole process. Here we go. All right, here's a quick little TikTok I whipped up. I'm going to post that from my iPad. Posting, all right, and then if I go to my account, how do I do this? I go here, boom. This video just got posted at 6 a.m. I'm gonna show you the link on my laptop. So I'm gonna go to tiktok.com. And let's see where that video is. I'll go to the account again. Here's the new video. 0 views, posted at 6 a.m. I'm gonna copy that link, and we're gonna run it in the Python app. That Python app is right here. Let's execute that. All right, so I'm going to input that video URL, and I'm going to select PixGenie as the client. Submit, sending it to the database. All right, and everything does look normal. It is video ID 3, client ID 1, 0 views, 0 comments, and true. It was uploaded before noon. So there we go. Let's go check it out on the website. If I check the database again, check the database, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, yep, all good. All right, Mr. Fake Client, what did you think about that? It is fantastic. Very good work, Jared. Very well done. All right, well, there you have it, folks. That was, how many hours? Like 15 hours of programming, 16 hours, something like that. And now I'm gonna head home and make some food before my little phone call interview thing. So yeah, anyway, hope you enjoyed the super long montage. That's the way I like to program, learning as I go. I've got a website, pixgenie.com. You might want to check that out. I think it's pretty interesting, working with some of the late AI recent AI developments. But yeah, thanks for watching. Oh yeah, and if you want to see any of the code, I'll throw it up on GitHub too.